So you just bought a Sony camera. And now you're looking for your next lens to buy. But all those sweet and expensive G Master and Sigma Art lenses don't fit your budget? Then this lens could be perfect for you. It's compact, light, and costs less than $200. I'm talking about the Sony 50mm f1.8. I know. Some people are gonna say, why would you put a cheap lens on an expensive camera? To those people I can say, just watch the video and you will know. I feel like this lens has kind of a negative reputation, but in my opinion, it's misunderstood. But more on that at the end of the video. So one of the first things you're gonna come across when doing your research on this lens is that the focus isn't very good. Since I primarily shoot stationary subjects like cars, I never really ran into the situation where the focus couldn't keep up. But I know some of you guys won't be satisfied by that and want to see a real test. So I took some pictures of my dog running towards me. And don't worry, she got handsomely compensated for her hard work. I ran this test 3 times. The first time, the lens did its job well, and every shot was in focus. But on the second run, it lost focus halfway through, but then reacquired focus for the last 2 shots. And the third time, the focus was good too, only losing focus when she came too close. But I think that was due to the minimal focus distance. To be honest, I actually didn't expect the lens to hold up as good as it did. But when doing the same test with the video, that was an entirely different story. And that is because the lens almost immediately lost focus and for some reason decided to focus on the grass instead. For me, this test kind of sums up the case of use for this lens, and that is photography with stationary or slow-moving subjects and not so much for video. And also the lens is kind of noisy when it's focusing. And when you actually see the lens focusing, you know why the focus can be pretty slow sometimes. And at this point, many YouTubers do a sharpness test, but for me, I won't do one because 1, I don't really feel qualified enough for that, and 2, because I never ran into the situation where I felt like this lens wasn't sharp enough for me. The build quality actually feels solid to me. I know the lens won't be like the most sturdiest one you will ever have in your hands, but it's solid. And it also has a rubberized focus ring, which is very nice. Another thing to point out is that there is no weather sealing, but that was kind of to be expected at this price point. So you really shouldn't go out and shoot in the rain with this lens. And all of that being said, I still like this lens. I know it's kind of weird after all these downsides, but for me, it's still worth it. Okay, but why do I think this lens is misunderstood? Well, when I was looking for a new lens, I came across this 50mm. But most people said, hey, no, don't buy this lens, buy this $1,000 lens instead. But I don't have or didn't have the money for that. I feel like many people forget that this is a $200 full-frame lens for an amount that is inherently expensive. And for me, this is an inexpensive way to add more variety into my camera bag. As you have seen in this video, this isn't the perfect lens, it's decent. But for me, the price changes everything. I bought this lens with one intention. And that is to try out whether or not I like the style of pictures a setup like this produces, and if I would I like it enough to invest into a higher quality 50mm? And I think that is how you should use it too. Also, watch this video to improve your car photography.